butterflies when I go to sleep at night.
Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be filming a book haul. I have been collecting books to show in this haul for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks now, and yeah, so I thought I'd film a book haul because I have heaps of books that I've bought recently, some from the bookstore, some from Amazon, and yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys because I'm very excited. Some of them I have already read, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm impatient and I can't wait. Because like I said, I've been collecting these for 2 or 3 weeks, so you know, I have read some of these, but some of them I haven't read because I picked them up only a couple days ago. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into this video. I hope you guys enjoy. Give it a thumbs up if you do, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and let's just get into the video. So starting off with the books that I picked up in store, we're gonna start off with QBD, which is the bookshop in Australia that, you know, we don't have many bookshops, and at my local like shopping centre we only have 2. We have Robinson's bookshop, which I don't really like because it's kind of complicated to navigate the store because they don't really have like a romance section, and obviously you guys know I only read romance novels, but they don't have like a romance section, and they don't have a lot of romance books, so I don't usually go in there. I usually stick to QBD even though they don't have a large romance section, hence why I buy most of my books off Amazon, because in store you can only get Colin Hoover and like Anna Todd, which I already own like all of her books, and maybe like the occasional random author like Sally Thorne they stock, and like a few other ones as well, but you can't get a lot of like romance authors. Like you won't find like Fiona Cole or like Vi Keelan or Penelope Douglas, anything like that. You won't find those in the bookstore, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm gonna start off with QBD like I said. So we have a few Colleen Hoover books and then, you know, some other random ones. So starting off with Sally Thorne's new book. I actually picked this one up only a couple days ago. This came out literally only a couple days ago, but I love Sally Thorne. She wrote The Hating Game, and you guys know I love that book. It's becoming a movie, so I'm so excited. But this is her new book, Second First Impressions, and I'm very excited to read this. Also the cover's really pretty, like this purple color is so nice. But basically this is about a girl who works at a nursing home, I believe, and she tends to forget that she's, you know, young and can go out and have fun, and then she meets Teddy, and Teddy doesn't really care about life. He's lazy, he doesn't have a job, and he doesn't like really, you know, do anything with his life, and then he gets a job at this nursing home, and I think it's enemies to lovers. I don't think they like each other at first, and then they become friends, and then, you know, a romance progresses. I believe this is a slow burn as well. I'm not the biggest fan of slow burns, but I am excited to read this. And then we have some Colleen Hoover books. Now I have already read all of these, so we're gonna start off with Maybe Not. This is a novella with 2 characters from Maybe Someday, which if you guys know me, that is one of my all-time favorite books ever. I love it. So this is about Warren and Bridget and their little relationship. It's literally only like 120 pages ish, and yeah, so if you guys have read Maybe Someday, you know Warren and Bridget have this love-hate relationship. They really don't like each other, but they have this chemistry, and you see that unfold in this book. It's from both their point of views. Is it from both their point of views, or is it only from Warren's point of view? I think it's only from Warren's point of view, but Warren is hilarious. I was laughing so much while reading this book, and yeah, very, very good. And then we have All Your Perfects. This book broke my heart. Oh my goodness, this is such a good book. Basically it follows Quinn and Graham, and you get the then and then the now. So the then is 7 years ago, when Quinn and Graham are first meeting and first falling in love, and then it flashes forward to the present day, which is 7 years later. They've been married for 7 years, and their marriage is kind of falling apart because they're struggling with infertility. And this is such a good book because you're watching them fall in love, and you're watching them fall, like their marriage fall apart, and it's like you can see how in love that they were, and they're still so in love, but because of the infertility they're really struggling, and their marriage is kind of crumbling. And yes, so sad, bawled my eyes out. But yeah, very, very, very good book. loved it. And then we have Confess. Now this book, I kept going into the bookstore and I kept seeing it and I was like, I read the synopsis and I was like, like it sounds interesting. And anything by Colleen Hoover is amazing. Like I love all of her books. But I just kept like putting it down. I was like, maybe next time. And then I finally bought it and I'm so glad I did. This book is so good. Oh my God. Basically it follows Auburn and Owen, and Auburn is looking for a job and she stumbles across this art studio and there's a help wanted sign at the front, and Owen is the artist and he runs the studio, and so she gets a job there working one of his like opening nights to show his artwork, and basically he makes artwork based off people's anonymous confessions. So people submit anonymous confessions to his art gallery called Confess, and then he makes the artwork based on those confessions, and it's like such a cool concept. But yeah, Owen is hiding a big secret, and you know, Auburn also has a kind of secret. I wouldn't call it a secret because she's not really hiding it, but she's not like openly declaring it either, and I was shocked when I found out. I was like, whoa, no way. But yeah, very, very good book. Really, really enjoyed this one. And it's actually a TV show, which I didn't know. And then I was Googling the book, and then it was like TV show, and I was like, oh, what's that? And yeah, it's a TV show. It's only like 6 episodes. I did watch it. It is pretty good. The guy is very, very attractive. The guy that plays Owen, oh my goodness. But yeah, there are definitely there are like 2 or 3 big differences, which I didn't really like. Obviously everything can't be the same, and there are a few like minor changes, but yeah, overall it's a decent show, but I definitely recommend reading the book first. Moving on to Big W. Basically the first book I got is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuestion, and basically I was gonna get this from the bookstore originally, and I kept going in to find it, but they never had it in stock, but it always said that they had it in stock, but I could never actually find it, and it's $27 at the bookstore, which is kind of really expensive for a book. But then I saw it in Big W and I was like, oh, okay, let me see how much this is here. $16. So if you want to read this book, don't get it from the bookstore, get it from Big W if you live in Australia, because it's so much cheaper. I was like, $16? Really? Wow, okay, definitely buying it. But basically, I have not read this yet. I'm very excited to read this. I've been wanting to read it for a very long time. But basically it follows these 2 guys. One is the son of the President of America, and one is the Prince of Wales, and they don't like each other at all. They can't stand each other. They have this like feud going on, and for the public, and they need to act like they're friends. So their parents set them up on all these little like hangouts to get like photographed together, so it looks like they're friends, and they're only doing this with the public. They can't stand each other, and then, you know, slowly they find out that they have more in common, and you know, a romance starts to bloom there. And yeah, that's really all I know. Obviously I haven't read it, but I'm very, very excited. Sounds very good. The next book I picked up is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McCamus, I don't know. I stuff up authors' names constantly. It's an issue. This is actually not a romance book. I feel like everyone knows what this book is and what it's about. Very late on the train to read this one, but as you guys know, I only read romance, so I thought I'd branch out and read something different. I love watching like murder mystery, like TV shows, you know, so I thought I would pick this one up. Basically, this follows 5 people who go to detention, and then one of them dies, and they're trying to figure out who did it. So yeah, it sounds very interesting and nothing like I've ever read before, because I only read romance. So I'm excited to read this because I've heard very good things. Like I said, this is a pretty, not like a really old book, but like people have like hyped this up for a while now, so I thought I'd finally read it. And yeah, pick this one up from Big W. Definitely would recommend picking it up from Big W or Kmart if you live in Australia, because it's cheaper there. It was only like $12 instead of the 18 that it is at the bookstore. I don't know why it's more expensive at the bookstore, but yeah, can't wait to read this one as well, and you know, get out of my comfort zone, read something a little bit different. Moving on to the books that I bought from Amazon. So the first book is Get a Life Chloe Brown by Talia Hilbert, and I was so excited to read this book. I haven't read it yet, but I was so excited to read it. I've heard amazing things, and then I got it, and it's in third person. And if you know me, you know I hate reading in third person, hence why I've put off reading Harry Potter for so long. Like, I want to read Harry Potter, but it's in third person and I struggle. I really struggle to read in third person because I only read in first person, and I know that once I get used to it, I'll be fine. Or once I get like into a story, like it'll be fine. But I'd much rather read in first person, because I just feel like I can't connect with the characters as much if I'm reading it in third person, because it's like, this person did this and that person did that, not I did this and I did that. And I'm like, it's just like, I don't want to read that Chloe did this to Red and the Red said this to Chloe and then Chloe did that. No, I don't like reading it like that. But I am still excited because the plot of this book sounds really good. Basically, Chloe has chronically ill, and she has a near-death experience, and it really puts into perspective that she needs to start, you know, living her life, hence Get a Life Chloe Brown. And then she meets Red, and she has this whole list of things that she wants to do, and Red helps her do those things, I think, and obviously, you know, they fall in love. But yeah, I'm excited to read it still because like it sounds like it'd be a really good book, but I'm really annoyed that it's in third person because there's 2 other books in this series about the 2 other Brown sisters, and those books sound so good as well, but if they're all in third person, I'm like, but maybe once I read this one, give it a go, and see how I go. But yeah. Next book I picked up, I love this book. It's The Third Best Thing by Maya Hughes. This book is the 3rd book in the Felt New series. It is the 3rd book and my favorite book in the series. I have read the whole series, but I just wanted to pick this one up in paperback because I love this book. It's one of my favorite books of all time. Berkeley, the man on the front, he is the sweetest soul. I love him so much. But yeah, I definitely recommend reading this whole series. It's very good. Lots of good tropes, enemies to lovers, friends to lovers. This one is secret admirer. So yeah, very good. Love this series. But basically this follows Berkeley and Jules starts writing these dirty letters to Berkeley, but Berkeley doesn't know it's Jules. She does it anonymously, and they're neighbors. So she puts them over in his mailbox, he reads them, and then she wasn't expecting him to write back, but he does. And basically they form this little like relationship over these letters, and he has no idea who's sending them. And then one day the letters stop, and Berkeley's really upset, and so he really wants to find out who was sending him these letters. And so Jules is in their little friendship group, and he asks Jules to help him find out who is sending these letters. Little does he know, it's Jules, but Jules doesn't tell him. Jules agrees, and they start their search to find his secret admirer, and he starts to form this connection with Jules while they're trying to find out who the secret admirer is. And you know, things happen. There's a lot of drama that goes on with different things in here, and yeah, love this book. Berkeley, he's one of my #1 book boyfriends. I love him so much. Next book is Maybe Now by Colleen Hoover. This book is the continuation of Maybe Someday, which, like I said before, one of my favorite books, and obviously Maybe Not I spoke about earlier in the video. But this basically is a continuation of Rigid Sydney's story, but you also get to see Maggie's story, and if you've read Maybe Someday, you know who Maggie is, and she gets her own love interest, and he's a sweetheart. I love him. But yeah, it was really good to just read more about Rigid Sydney because I absolutely love them, and there's more music, and I love it because Maybe Someday there's a whole like soundtrack of the songs that Rigid Sydney write together, and like I love it because music and reading, my 2 favorite things, combined in one book, and there's more music in this one. And so this I've already read and it's phenomenal. So if you have read Maybe Someday, I definitely recommend reading this one as well because so good. And the last book for this little haul is November 9 by Colleen Hoover. This book, oh my goodness, I'm obsessed. It's so good. Basically, this follows Fallon and Ben. By the way, I don't like this cover. It's so ugly. it literally has nothing to do with the book either. Like, this is really irrelevant to any of the story. I don't like get the relevance of the locket and the mason jar. Like, I mean, I guess I could kind of like analyze it, and like it's like, you know, Fallon has her heart locked up and blah 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 blah, but like, you know, like off the bat it has no significance really. But there is another cover which I think they only sell in America, because I couldn't get it, and that one is so much nicer. It has a little like pages because Ben's an aspiring author, and it has New York because Fallon moving to New York, and yeah, I like that cover so much better. But anyway, this follows Fallon and Ben, and basically Fallon is an aspiring actress, but she's in this accident that causes her acting career to kind of go down the drain, and so she is trying to look for more jobs. She meets Ben, and Ben is a aspiring author, and he's never written a romance novel before. Fallon loves reading romance, and basically she's like, well, write a romance novel, you know? And so he decides to write this romance novel about their relationship. Basically, they agree to meet on the 9th of November every single year for 5 years, I believe it is, and they have no contact throughout the year. No contact, no emails, no phone calls, no text messages, no social media, nothing. They only talk and meet in either New York or Los Angeles on the 9th of November, and that is the only contact they have throughout the years. And yeah, you know, obviously it's a Colleen Hoover book, things happen, sad things happen that you're not expecting, and yeah, it's such a good book. Ben, I love him so much, but then there's this massive plot twist that I did not see coming at all. I was like, what the heck? But wow, so this book definitely made me bawl my eyes out, because it's a Colleen Hoover book, and when does her books not make me cry? But very, very, very good. Loved it. Definitely recommend you guys read this one. Try to get your hands on the nicer cover, because I don't know why they only sell this one in Australia, but it's not nice. But yeah, that is all the books I have to show you guys today. I love talking about books, as you guys know, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and let me know any other book related videos you guys want to see, or any other videos just in general. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.
You're the reason why I can feel those butterflies when I go to sleep at night.